And chances are that if you're in this energy, it's affecting everybody around you. Okay, because this shit spews out. It spews out. All right. It's kind of like, I'm not trying to be nasty, but it's kind of like, if somebody passes gas, and that smell kind of, it stays there for a minute and it follows, and everybody else is like suffering having to breathe it in. Okay, it's the same thing. So let's be mindful of it and chop that shit off with a sword there, and maybe give it a chance to give yourself a chance to believe that you can manifest something different, and that you can actually have joy, in your life, and you could find that happiness, that you don't have to stay stuck in pain or in bitterness because it's familiar to you. Okay, and chances are that it's not even something that is like your preference. Maybe you just grew up like that. Maybe people in your household were just bitter and just cranky, and just not very high vibrational. So let's break that shit, and let's start being that way. Let's, here you go. Let's lift those vibrations. And that could be from lingering trauma. Past trauma is affecting you now. So it could be childhood trauma. It could be a lot of an array of different things. If you've had failed relationships, failed friendships, and somebody's gloating and being like, oh yeah, well, I'm getting married, I'm so excited, we're so the best couple, and then you turn around and roll your eyes and say whatever, there's no such thing. It's like, again, with a projecting the stuff, and that's not a very healthy environment, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. And let's try to do something about that now. Now that we're getting this reading, we're delivering the truth here. So if you're watching this, chances are that you're either affected on the opposite end of the spectrum, but most likely this is happening. So let's accept it. It's something that happens, and we just need to catch it. It happens to the best of us. Okay, like I said, I'm guilty of telling my friend when she was excited about a certain career. I could have kept my mouth shut. I don't have to say anything, but no, here I go, telling her that she's gonna get blown up, and the plane's gonna crash and she's gonna die. What the hell? That's not cool. I was that person for a minute there too. We don't even catch ourselves. So this is for somebody, or for a lot of people. Let's just be real, and get ourselves out of and that energy, and let's bring some high vibrations and good opportunities, good things in our life. Good stuff. Let's raise. If we want good stuff, we need to raise our vibrations so we could meet it there. We're not gonna get good stuff by being those people, like sometimes there's people that are really like that all the time, and then you're like, hey, let's go over here, who's going? And then they say the person that's, it's like, fuck that, never mind, shit, no, it's gonna lower my vibe. Let's be the lifting of the vibe. Let's lift our vibes to the point where when people come around us, it kind of lifts their vibe too. If we're gonna be contagious, let's be contagious in a positive way, right? Anyways, so enough with the coming down. Let's come up now. And the thing is that I'm always going to be real, and chances are that I've already been through what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say that I have, and I'm going to call you out just like I call myself out. Okay? So again, here with a self-fulfilling prophecy, your subconscious makes sure that this comes true. So if somebody's saying, oh yeah, I'm so excited, I met this man, he's so cool, and he's taking me on vacation, and you roll your eyes like, what the fuck, like that doesn't happen, he's gonna kill you or something, or whatever. What does he want? What are you gonna, what is he wanting from you, or whatever? That never happens to me. I always get assholes, or I never win anything, or whatever. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's try saying things like, I always win things. I am gonna actually do fantastic with this interview or with this job, or I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna be my biggest fan. And maybe why not fulfill those kind of those prophecies, like, instead of like the negative ones. Okay, so now we're gonna erase and rewind. Let's erase the old shit, rewind and re-record this bullshit. Okay, please, let's do that. Note to self, me too. Like, I'm talking to all of us right here. Okay, the universe knows words but not frequency, so align to the frequency that you want. And again, what is the frequency? Like, what am I, a fucking radio station? Like, I'm gonna dial and fucking know. I know that it's the lingo is a little weird and stuff. Basically, what we're saying here is, if you want good stuff, you need to like be in feel good energy, so that you could align to that. And it could kind of line up like this, right? So if you're down here and you want stuff that's up here, like it's just, you're going to miss. But if we bring up the vibe, and next time that Sally says, oh my gosh, I'm going to go here, then you could be, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm so happy for you. All right, awesome. Look, we're lifting the vibe, and now shit's going to come to us. Next, you're going to be the person in the break room that's like, oh my God, I got it. And then there's going to be somebody else that's a Debbie Downer. But then you're going to understand because you've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. That's what it is. That's basically what life is. We're somebody else's Debbie Downer, and they were our Debbie Downer. We learn from each other. So that's why it's always good to, not judge and really just try to uplift people instead of kicking them while they're down, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end that here with maybe just a little final releasing message. But I'm also gonna put this one: negative thoughts, blocking yourself with your thoughts. So yeah, if we're having negative thoughts, we're blocking things, and then we wonder why things don't come to us. Well, it's because we're being negative. Like the kid that's like, I never get picked, and for anything. Well, nobody's gonna pick you if you're being complaining that nobody picks you, and kicking rocks and stuff instead of being open to catch the ball and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's negative thoughts. Really, we don't see it, but it does mold us, and it does create our environment and the people we hang out with. We can't expect to be these rock stars if we're hanging out with negative Nancy's and people that are shooting down your dreams every 5 minutes. Like you can't even lift up because you're already being shot down. No, well, let's hang out with the Nancy, the Pollies or whatever that are like, yay, I'm happy and this is happening to me. Oh my gosh. Like every day something's happening. It's like, oh my God, what today? Yeah, please. I want that shit to happen to me. Good stuff, please. Thank you. Right? All right. I think we got the point. Whew. All right. So let's go ahead and finish off with let's see. Let's go ahead and see what it is that's up around the corner. If we could do this and we cut away the bullshit and we get off the fence with our splintered ass, what could be around the corner for us? Like what stuff could we look forward to? Okay, that's kind of fun. Like give us a little bit of a motivation here. Shoot, I mean, splintered ass should be enough, but shoot, sometimes we be digging. When something's uncomfortable, even like the splintered ass, you're like, I'm just gonna stay here because if I move, that's gonna go in deeper or something. So we have fertility, and it says, "Let all take root, seed and sprout. Let new life be all about." Okay, let me say it again. Let all take root, seed and sprout. Let new life be all about fertility. Funny right here, yeah, fertility. 37. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get pregnant or that you're so fertile, like, oh my, like you're like a rabbit. It could be, if you're wanting to get pregnant, it could be very well that you're fertile. But I think what this is saying is like, once we clear this up and we get ourselves in a good energy, like you're gonna be more fertile. Okay, so it's just like anything else. You things don't grow when the dirt is like not nourished or the soil's not nourished and it's like all dry and shit. No, the fertility comes and like the abundance and the sprouting comes when things are nurtured. Okay, so when things are watered, when you're watering yourself, when you're speaking good into yourself, when you're like loving on yourself, then that fertility comes. Like things start sprouting left and right. You have literally, like, even like your hair, you have to be shaving like every fucking 30 seconds. I'm just kidding, I don't know. But so that's good. Fertility, awesome. That pretty much you're able to birth things, right? Birth ideas, birth new creations, birth fucking businesses and stuff. You birthing that confidence to get that to happen. Okay, and then because we're fertile and because we're sprouting shit out and we're giving life to our field or whatever, since we're talking about that, we'll go run with it. The harvest, okay? As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees of the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to my harvest. I am ready to receive my all. All right? So because we are, again, on fertile soil, planting seeds that are going to sprout because we're speaking life into them. We're not sprouting seeds and saying, I know this is not going to grow. This carrot's going to be nasty. Oh, no, we're saying, we're like, I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. As you're watering and sprouting and you're like, ooh, yeah, seeing high vibrational stuff. And you're over here like, um, just being high vibrational and speaking good to your ideas and actually like being motivated to do things, then the harvest is going to be bountiful. You're going to be like, holy crap, like there's so much crap stuff that's sprouting out. I can't even pick it all. Okay. So then that's great, because then that means that you're even harvesting abundance, right? And that means you could share with people. And spread the good seed, spread that abundance, you know? So that's awesome. That's really awesome, actually. I love that. Hell yeah. Where's that sword at? Shoot. Okay. I'm only going to take these two because they flipped over. And then we have romance. Okay, 23. And 2 and 3 is 5. Okay. And 5 is like, it could be conflictive change. It basically is change. And if there's any conflict, it's usually to inspire change. Because it's like you need to light a fire under your ass for you to kind of hop and make something move. So romance is sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. Romance is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. Okay. If you don't want romance and you're like, I ain't got time for that, thank you for shopping. I just got this other stuff going on and I'm over here trying to plant my seeds and not my romance seeds. Fantastic. Then romance with yourself. Romance and fucking being in love, falling in love with life, with yourself, just pouring into you and other people and just, just bask in the energy of it. And sometimes when you don't want the romance is when it comes. Like, what movie is that with? Clueless, okay? Like Miss Bates, is that what her name is? Whatever. The teacher that doesn't comb her hair and she's like kind of, you know, um, just shriveled all the time. Well, when they get her into kind of like a romantic situation, she becomes like a dream, and she's nice, and she's even speaking, she has flowers coming out of her butt and stuff, right? But when she's not, she's crabby and she's an asshole, right? So when you're in this energy, you're gonna get people that are going to be interested, and you're going to be like, I wasn't even interested. But because you're calling in that, you're in the energy of attracting, of magnetizing. Your energy is open to ready to receive. It's able to receive. When you're in the other energy of being closed off and being like swimming in your little shit bath, nobody wants to come around and be in that, like, and jump in with you, like, oh my god, hey, let me jump in there with you, have fun. So what do you think about this? So how's it hanging out down here? No, but when you're in your abundance and you're radiating, and you have all this, this glow of you, and you're speaking love and light to people, and you're just attracting, your energies, bright, then of course you're going to attract people. People are going to like that. That's when people come to you. That's when you don't want them. That's when they come. Okay, basically. And healing. Okay, healing. Candle flame, burn this hour. Bring to me my healing power. All right, yeah, bring me that healing power to heal myself, to heal situations, to heal wounds of the past, so we don't bleed on to other people. Heal in situations so that our inner child doesn't do the most, and create these like situations in which we overreact, and then like it's a loop, because then we feel guilty that we overreacted. So then we just decide we're going to be jerks because we don't want to admit that we're being, whatever the case is. Enough. Let's just cut that shit out. Okay, let's cut that shit out. Work on ourselves. Figure out why the heck we're doing it, and acknowledge it. Let's go to the park. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. Go play with the kids. If people look at you weird, who cares? You're just fucking having fun. Okay, play with the kids. Next time you go to a birthday party, hang out with the kids. Go in the jumpy house. Push them around and have fun. Just don't get arrested. And you know what I mean? Sometimes I go to parties, and the best times that I have is when I hang out with the kids, because they're funny. They're cool. They kind of they bring this joy, and it's just like it's contagious. It's great. They breathe energy into you. Actually, no, sometimes they drain your energy, but in a good way. It's like I don't know, it does something to you. And no, I'm not talking about going to the park and playing with kids if you don't have kids and stuff, getting yourself arrested. No, I'm not talking about that. You know what I mean? Like if you have nephews and nieces, maybe go pick up one of your nephews or nieces and take them to the movies, or even things like that, or take yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do. That's going to be like, I'm telling you right now, that's going to be your saving grace. Okay. You might feel silly, but once you do it, you're going to love it. go swimming, do fun stuff. And oh my gosh, see, abundance. Didn't we talk about abundance? Number 2, abundance. Number 2 is like, also balancing or making a decision. So we're making a decision. Come on, guys, look at the synchronicity. That we had the 2 of Pentacles, didn't we? We had the 2 of Pentacles, which was like the loop that keeps you going in that loop. It's like, the infinity. And we have the number 2 here, okay? And Goddess of Abundance Divine, let me thrive. Let fortune be mine. And here is that harvest of having so much harvest, because we're just like, now we have sunlight coming out of like our ears and stuff. And so much so that we have so much extra that we are able to share. Okay. As to where before we were taking that abundance from people, we were tearing that shit down. We were going at night and, doing the most, letting our dogs shit on their crops because we were being haters. Okay. No, now we're not doing that. Now we're the opposite. Now we're like, no, I don't even have time for that energy. Like if somebody's hating, I feel bad. Come here. Let's talk, because I was there last year and shit. No, let me tell you, let's do the shortcut. Okay. Come over here. Let's go do something fun with our inner child. Okay. Like that energy is what I'm saying. Like even to the point where if people are hating, it doesn't bother you, because you're like, oh, hell no. You know what? Let's go get coffee. Let's talk, because I just came out of that. Right. Okay. At the end of the day, all it is somebody that's stuck in that situation that we were stuck in before. So, you're never above anybody. You're never below. Remember, everything's a swing, right? So you're above, sometimes you're on the top, sometimes you're on the bottom. It's all about knowing how to make best time of it. When you're on the bottom, you rest, you do your shadow work, you figure things out, you get to know yourself, you expand, you grow. When you're on top, you're like, wee, woo, and then you go back down and you do it again. Right? It's all about just learning how to go with the ebb and flow of life and not fight against it. Okay. All right. I didn't expect this to be a 1 hour reading, but of course, you know how I do, and I talk and I share and I pull cards. But I mean, I'm glad I did, because these synchronicities are great. We have the healing, harvest, abundance, romance. Girl, you got it all right here. And just to think that we were over here shooting people's dreams down, freaking taking our dog to poop on people's yards. What the hell? No. It's like, oh no, that was us yesterday. Today we're like this harvesting badass. Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there, because I won't stop. Okay. And thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Thank you if you are still here listening. Thank you so much. Okay. I know I could go on and on. But these are things we need to hear, okay? And these are things that, like I said, we've all been there before, So let's help each other out. Let's fix the wins. Let's fix each other's crowns without having to say, hey, remember I fixed. You remember remember Sonia from fucking 6th grade? Oh my God, I saw her. She was doing the most over here, and then I did. No, let's have each other's back. We're all women. We're all human. Let's have that humanity, and let's help uplift each other. And not kick people while they're down. And if we ever did, it's okay. We didn't know. We didn't know any better, but now we know better. So, let's be that. Lead by example. And let's, over here, there was a teach and learn, right? So we learn, now let's teach. When we see the opportunity, if somebody's open to it, maybe help people out, extend the hand, help fix their crown a little bit. Remember that we were there once, and we probably will be there again many times. And it's a cycle that keeps going. So when you put out good, you receive good. So it's always better to just be in this energy of being fruitful, being high vibrational, and aligned to the things we want to attract. Okay. All right. So I am going to pull one more, and this is just going to be like literally a departing message, because I will one day show you how many cards I have, and I always want to pull from all of them and give you the most info, but then I'll be here all day. So I'm going to pull from this, what is this one? Let me see. It's called the Spirit Animal Oracle. I'm going to pull from this one. And let's see what energy it is that we're embodying. Even after getting this message, it's activating already. I could already feel it. You're like, oh my gosh, I could resonate. I could see myself actually. Yeah, that's me. Dude, you're already going to come out of this, like, out of the shit pool already. Like, shoot. You're going to be sprouting, flowers and stuff out of your nose and out of your armpits. You're going to, oh my goodness, look at all this abundance and cool high vibrational stuff I have going on. Okay. All right, let's see. So we have the dolphin. And I was talking about play. Play is important, guys. Play is it. The people that are amargados, the people that are bitter, because they don't play, they need to play. Okay, they're taking stuff too seriously. They're not in tune with their inner child. So dolphin plays. Okay, and again, let me just make a disclaimer, okay? Because I know I am very just blunt. There are obviously situations that people are going through where if there's grief, if there's loss, if there's things that obviously are very, very understandable, you take all the time you need to heal. I'm talking about like, when you're just in a situation, when you're just in the energy and you just can't get out of it. Like whoa, it's me. Not like having a like something that happened that has you in the energy that is like a significant loss. I'm talking more like, you know what I'm saying. Okay. But you just have to say, because I don't want anybody to feel bad about that. That's not what I mean. Use your discernment. So we have here swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. Yes, and most likely, we probably have been trying to hold on to control and perhaps wanting to, like, really push situations in certain areas. And we just need to embody this dolphin energy and just, swim and go and do all that stuff, splish and splash. Um, you know, Obviously not all the time, because there is times where you have to, you can't just be a dolphin, okay? But you do need to make time to play. It's important. And if you're somebody that is like very wound up very tight, let that hair down and do something. I'm telling you, messy. Do something with your hands. Do something like with clay. Do something with paint. Something that's going to allow you to just like be messy. I'm going to just say one more thing and that's it, because you know how I be doing. But I'm going to say this, okay? For a moment in time, I was very anal retentive. Where I took things, I was too high strung. And I love art. Art is amazing. And my art is messy because it's the only thing that I felt like in my life that didn't have to be perfect. Like it could be whatever the hell I wanted. Because it's my art. If you don't like it, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So that was an outlet for me that was amazing. And I didn't even know that I actually, was decent at it. I didn't know that. You don't know unless you try. Okay. You don't know unless you try. You meet a lot of people that say, I don't have a talent. I don't have, this or that. I wish I could do that. Like when they see you doing something, I wish I could do that. And it's like, well, stop wishing. Your wish just came true. I'm the fucking genie. Get a fucking brush and try. You know what I'm saying? Come, let's do it. Right? Okay. And I'm not being an asshole. I'm being honest. Okay. And again, like I said, I didn't know I could do that. You want to build something, you want to do something, don't wait around for somebody to do it. Try to do it. Obviously, don't do something that you're going to hurt yourself, but try. Just try. You'll be surprised how many things you could accomplish if you try. Okay? Because chances are the people that do things, all they did was try. And and we are our own worst critics. Okay? And I don't even want to get into that and go deep into, because it could also be from our childhood. Maybe you didn't feel like the need. Maybe you didn't feel like you got validation for things. Maybe nobody was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're really good at that, or gave you like a pat in the back. You know what? I've learned up too along the way. You got to be your own coach. You got to be your best. You got to be your own cheerleader. You know. I talk to myself all the time. Good idea. Good idea, Irene. That was great. How'd you get so smart? It's just little things like that that make me feel good. That I catch myself whenever I think I deserve props, and which is a lot. And I'll say it. And it's okay. Who gives a fuck what anybody else has to say? If it makes you feel better, right? Who cares? If it makes me happy, I'd rather be happy than be like that bitter person worried about like what anybody else is gonna say. Who cares? For real, it's like dance like nobody's watching, because if they're watching or nobody's really watching, nobody really cares. You know what I mean? Who cares? Just let's start walking in our authenticity and let our hair down and be wild and free, and let's stop criticizing people, and let's stop criticizing people, and let's not be criticized. Like, just fucking live and let live. Do your thing. If you want to be crazy, and maybe somebody else wants to be a little bit more uptight, who cares? To each their own, as long as you're happy, right? Anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. But this is me. This is my. If you like my vibe and you like the tribe, I'm gonna ask that you maybe like and share and subscribe, help spread the loving. And I do also do personal readings, and I also do spiritual coaching, along with other things. I do art, I'll do art, and I make jewelry. There's a lot of I'll link everything to the description box. But if you're interested in that, then I'll put that in the description box, and you can send me an email. And I look forward to having you guys back here again. And again, remember, it's something we're all going through together. There's no shame in the game, and um, we are getting through it together, and so we could all lift our vibes and get exactly what it is that we want, and live our life by design. Manifest the crap out of things. Hopefully, not crap things. Hopefully, we're manifesting good things. But look at your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Because the chances are, if you're here and you're listening to this, chances are you are highly intuitive. You probably do have special gifts of some sort, and watching my readings are going to be very activating to you, because I have that gift of activating, of speaking truth and life into things and people. So I encourage you to continue watching and following, and growing together. Okay. If you have any questions or anything like that, then just go ahead and drop the question below, or send me an email. And most likely, all the information might not be there when the video is there, but I'll get it down there. Okay. Thank you mucho, and have a good day. And remember, if you're not feeling loved, if you're not feeling validated, if you're not feeling pepped, if you're not feeling like, you have a cheerleader, be your own damn cheerleader. And it's contagious. It's contagious, because people are like, what that, like, people around will look at you like, what the heck, what's she doing? But then they expect it, and they like it, and it becomes contagious. Like, your energy just infects them too. Even the people that maybe at first were super uptight, it's super beautiful to see them loosen up, and to see them do that to themselves. It's great. I love it. Gosh, I'm so excited. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's be our own cheerleader. If you didn't feel, nobody's telling you how beautiful you are, you should tell yourself how beautiful you are. Nobody's grabbing your ass, grab it yourself. Do whatever it is that you need to do. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're a sexy bitch. Look, and if you don't believe it, say it anyways, because you are. Okay? All right. Ahora sí. I'm going to call it here. Have a good day. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is that you're having. Oh yeah, grab a notebook, and when you go to sleep at night, set an intention. Like, if you have a question about something, or if there's something that you need to know, ask it. Like say, hey, you know what? Today my intention is that I want to have a dream. I want a message about this situation or this question. I have a question. I want it to come in through my dreams, and have a notebook next to you, because people be saying they don't dream, but then you look at them sleeping, and it looks like they're fighting a whole damn army, and they're over here, like, having seizures and talking in their sleep. It's like, bitch, you do sleep. I mean, you dream. So set the intention that you want to remember your dreams, and even if it's little bits and pieces, write everything down. Because you'll see it, you'll find a lot of clarity, and you'll find a lot of messages through your dreams. Okay. Anyways, ahora sí, for real now, because it's already been more than an hour. I just wanted this to be like 20 minutes. Okay. So hopefully you guys are still here, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for letting me in your energy. Hello. Good morning, and good morning to all of you today. Hope everybody's having a great day. The birds are chirping, so that means that we gotta be lerping. Just kidding. I just needed a rhyme. It just happened to hear. Anyways, let's ignore that one. Okay, so today I'm going to incorporate the art for the reading. Today is this one here, and this is Little Miss Fortune Madame. Okay. And so whoever is watching this message at the moment, or listening to this, is going to be possibly a group of people that is pretty highly intuitive, foreseeing. That's given as a crystal ball, so we're able to maybe take a little gander at the future, maybe have dreams that are prophetic, may have like a very active third eye, okay, and also could be very empathetic, very very loving, could have a very open heart chakra. Okay, but so we're gonna go ahead and move this out of the way. So this is basically like our first indicator. We're going to move it so it's not too bulky. And this artwork, by the way, is done by moi. And you could check that out over at Instagram. I create art. Okay, thank you. And the tarot that I'm going to use first today is the Crow Tarot. And this is, let me tell you, I'm really loving this one right now. I'm feeling it. It's very, very good when wanting to read into like emotions and like love, feelings. I have really found that this tarot deck works fantastic for that. So anyways, I had already pulled some cards, a little bit of cards for to make like a short reading for the shorts, and I decided, you know what, it would be silly of me not to elaborate, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so the first card I got was the Ace of Swords, and this one is pretty much off the bat saying this is the truth. Handle it, you know. Let's see what's coming next. So this is the truth here. It seems like we're walking away with the Eight of Cups, walking away from certain situations, places, things, people. But I'm thinking that this is kind of walking away from something that we are doing. Okay, so let's continue. It looks like working. We're walking away from working. Like I want to say with these other cards that came out, like this Five of Cups, working against ourselves, like keeping us in a low vibration of focusing on stuff that hasn't gone right, focusing on things that maybe we haven't gotten the results that we want, focusing on things that we've lost, things that like if you look here, oh, you can't even see it. If you look here, this little the crow is, you know, he's like very, oh no, it's me, oh no, oh poo, we need a poo, like your like that, you know. And of course we're not making fun of it, we're not making light of it, we've all been there, done that. Okay, it's like very hard to look at anything else that is positive when you're in that energy, but it becomes an issue and when it starts kind of, you know, coming in the way of your life and keeping you from opportunities and whatnot, because you know you're ruminating on what was lost and what didn't go right. So and the next card here is talking about the Three of Cups is pretty much like working in collaboration, working together. It could be like, you know, celebrating. In this case, it's basically like working against. We're walking away from working against ourselves, working against ourselves by keeping ourselves kind of stuck in these situations, in this mentality of like things that are lost. You know, staying in a loop, like a ongoing loop here, like this infinity loop with the Two of Pentacles, like, you know, just a continual, it doesn't stop, it just keeps going and going, you know. We're stopping that. We're walking away from that bullshit right there. We're walking away from it. And we have the Magician here, so that means you have all the tools to change to change that and to do something different. Okay, but it also means when you're manifesting, it also means that, you know, you're in high manifesting energy, that you're manifesting. If you're manifesting and you're stuck in that loop of like ruminating on things you've lost, okay, the Ace of Swords is here is telling us, this is truth and clarity, that you're going to attract more of that and you're going to bring more of that to your life, because where your energy goes, basically, you know, everything else flows. And I can attest to that. Okay, a lot of us are like, no, manifesting doesn't work, I'm not a manifester. Like, hell, it doesn't. It sure does. Check your thoughts. What are you thinking? Are you thinking bullshit? Are you thinking limiting beliefs? Are you thinking, well, it's me, I lose everything, I can't keep stuff, I feel, you know, I feel sad because everybody leaves me? Are you in that kind of pick me mentality right now? Because if that's the case, that's what's happening, and that's exactly what you're manifesting. You're attracting that to yourself. You know what I mean? We all do it. Don't worry. Sure, I catch myself doing it quite a lot myself. And then we're wondering, like, if I'm such a manifester, why am I, why am I in these circumstances? Well, that's exactly why. You're so good of a manifester. You're manifesting bullshit in your life. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop doing that. We also got this one here, on the fence. Pick a side. Okay, so it's like, you know, on the loop right there. Like, pick a side. Are we gonna, like, you know, cut the bullshit with a sword there, with a sword of truth? Cut the bullshit, call ourselves out, and say, oh shit, you know what? Actually, maybe I have been kind of comfortable on this little roller coaster, from this little loop here. Maybe I should get off now. You know, pick a side. Your ass is getting splintered on that fence. I don't know about you, but I don't want my ass splintered. You know, whatever little ass I have, I want to save that. Splintered would not be fun. Okay. So let's get off the damn fence and let's cut that shit out And let's use our sword of truth for that. And it's also use all of the tools we have to manifest something good. We have the cup here. We could to manifest, you know, love for ourselves, love for life, love for, our whatever it is that we're wanting to do, or just kind of pouring stuff back into ourselves, just fucking for pouring, for drinking, whatever, and then we have the pentacle. We could manifest like to materialize things into our life, to bring abundance in a material fashion, to materialize, to build something, to create, to build something of a tangible extent. We also have the sword, which we're starting off with. The sword is all about the truth. The sword is all about thoughts, and what it is that we're thinking. The swords have a lot to do with, like, the air. Like, the air signs are very intellectual, very in their head, very in their mind. So it's about, it's also good for cutting the bullshit. Okay. And the other thing that we have is the wand. Okay. The wand. Creativity. It's passion. It's fire. It's like, bam, like, you point the wand and you make it happen. Okay. So let's get back into the energy. Get off the fence. The fence is no fun. The fence is keeping us on this loop of, like, splintered ass, and just feeling very Eeyore. Oh, it's me. That's not attractive, and it's not fun. I think we've probably paid. It's probably gotten to the point where, like, I know, like, when a little kid is crying, because they start fake crying. Okay, I've actually caught my daughter doing this when she was going, ooh, and from my room I was like, oh no, she's crying. And then I went to go sneak up on her, and she was just making the face already. Like, she was so used to it, going like that, she wasn't even crying, and she was on her iPad doing things like, smiling and stuff. What? We get to the point where we fool ourselves. We actually, like, get on a loop, and we're fooling ourselves. Not only are we fooling ourselves, but we're also setting ourselves up for failure and disappointment, because we're continuing on that loop that's only attracting that, and it's only prolonging our stay in the pool of bullshit. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't want to get pruny and splintered ass. Let's get out of that shit. Let's get out of that already. Okay, so let's continue. Enough with that. Enough with that energy. Let's see. Now that we're getting off the fence, getting out of the pool of a looping, sadness. What could we expect? So what's coming up? What's coming up for us? Like, let's check that out. I'm for that, mejor. Okay, let's see what we have going on. Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards here from my moonlight deck that has a mixture of different energies that could be beneficial for us now to continue to dive into this message. Okay, so we have everything is possible. Yeah, of course it is. Everything's possible because we have the Magician, we have all the tools, and we have buffet pants, which is stretch beyond your comfort zone. Growth comes with pain. Yeah, so we have to be willing to get out of our comfort zone. We have to be willing to put ourselves through that, stretching phase, so that we could, let go of the stretch and be grown into something different, grown into a better, more optimized, us 0.20. Okay. It's funny because I guess I doubled up on this card. What are the chances that we got this again? Okay. So, oh no, just kidding. I just saw the pants. Ha. Okay. Scratch that. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Be honest with yourself and others. Okay. So let's be honest with ourselves. All right. We've been keeping ourselves in this loop of sadness and pain because, quite frankly, even though it sounds like silly, we become so comfortable in our pain that we'd rather be comfortable in our pain than to have a short-lived happiness and have that, maybe feeling of getting it ripped away. That could be it also, or it could just be that you just simmer so much and marinate in that sensation that you don't realize that your fingers are getting pruny and it's time to get out. Okay, it's not until somebody comes out and says, "Hey, you've been in there all damn day, and you need to get out. Come on now." Okay. And we have compromise. So let's compromise. Compromise, I think, also compromising with ourselves, right? Like in a good way, because we don't want to compromise things that are good for us. Like, we don't want to, say like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and and help you do that if it's going to mean that you have to compromise something that's important to you. Obviously, we don't want to do that. The whole point here is that we're wanting to manifest positive shit. We're wanting to manifest good things. That means that we're investing in ourselves. That means that we are seeing that we are worth the investment and that we're putting ourselves first. We're getting off the fence. We're picking a side, and we're no longer being liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay, if I can't do this, I'm not going to do it. If I can't do this, I am going to do it. Let's be honest with ourselves. What are our capabilities? We don't want to imply limitations, but we do definitely want to be realistic about what it is that we could acquire at the moment, or what you have room for on your plate, because you don't want to go to the buffet and just like grow out of just because you put so much crap on your plate, knowing very well that you didn't have the room for it. You know what I'm saying? So let's be smart about it. Okay. We have teach and learn. Always remain a student as you teach others. Okay, so every moment and experience is a teaching, a moment to learn, a moment to gain knowledge. So what we want to do is leave behind the pain and just take those lessons with us, right? So it's like we're gonna sift and rinse out the experience, and we're gonna let all the bad shit go down the drain. We don't want that. We don't need to keep it. It's not a picture that we need to keep, with us and dip into it once in a while. No, I think we've dipped in enough, and I don't think we want to dip it into no longer, right? So it's okay, whatever it is, a situation, it's fine. But we don't have to keep all of it. We just have to keep the lessons. We don't have to keep the feelings and keep on dipping into them and whatnot. Okay, because that's only slowing us down, and it's kind of keeping us stuck where we're not seeing that we have the sword. It's like we have the power. Okay, and it's okay. It happens. We get caught up on stuff, right? Higher power. And also watch out for, like, if you're hanging out with people, sometimes it's not even you like feeling like that or you want to feel like that. Once you snap out of it, you're like, what the hell? I don't even care anymore. Why am I still in this energy? Because sometimes if you're around people that are constantly like complaining or constantly in that energy where they're always like, oh no, this happened to me, or they always have something that they're the victim of something. Okay, and I'm not saying anything about people that are victims. Obviously there's people that go through things, but I'm talking about that one person that's always complaining, like something's always wrong with them, something's always happening to them, not for them but to them. Be careful with that, because that is contagious. Okay, so you don't want to be carrying on that energy for fun, just because you're hanging out with people that are complaining too much, and now it's bringing stagnation in your life. No, thank you. That happens too, you guys. That's why I'm saying it. And then also shine bright. The light is inside of you. So through the darkest hour for you to shine. First shine. You remember that you have that light bulb. Have you ever had to go outside or something in the night, and you're like bumping into shit and doing the most, and then you remember, hey, I have a flashlight right here, right? So let's not make things harder for ourselves and go through darker, deeper stuff more than we need to. Let's remember that we can shine our light. It is inside of us, and it's not like a mandatory to ruminate in any given energy for too long, and nothing comes of it. If somebody tells you like, oh, what, you're over it already? Yeah, motherfucker, I am. Because there's no book that says, here, this is how long you have to be in this energy. No, it's just about, once you piece things together and you kind of move along through the energy, everything is temporary. Then you move on, right? And nobody's saying that you have to forget about the situation, whatever. Do with it as you may. Just remember that we're not keeping that open for us to fall back into and then get back into marination. No. Something when it's over marinated is like too much. It overpowers the flavor, and it can no longer play well with others. Like the other food is just like not even complementary anymore, because it just sat there too long, right? So we don't want to do that. We don't want to be marinating, and we also don't want to be sitting on the fence getting splinters on our ass, you guys. Come on now. All right, so let's remember that we have the power. We have all the tools we need to take ourselves out of situations, and remember that you always have the light within that also is going to illuminate the darkness. So when we're in the dark, it's very easy for us to fall into the a little bit, slide a little deeper and deeper, without reaching out to turn the light on. Remember that you do have that light. Okay, and celebrate yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Compromise with yourself in that aspect. Like, you might not be exactly where you want to be. You might not feel like you're accomplishing much to celebrate. But let me tell you this: if you've been in a situation in which you haven't showered in 3 days, or you've been really sad, or you just lost motivation, like you feel like you're like, what day is it? I don't even know. Like, am I alive? What's going on here? When you do get up to take a shower, when you do get up to like go outside, celebrate that. You see, yeah, that's an accomplishment right there. You know, there's people that won't, that can't get, that can't snap out of that, that don't snap out of that. You know, so celebrate every little accomplishment, like if it's significant to you. And again, I'm not like trying to, you know, I'm not saying like, oh, if you're feeling bad or anything, you know, snap out of it. No, I would never say that. That's really stupid. You know, you can't do that. People want to smack you when you do that. You want to throw, you know, you no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just don't sit there more than you need to. Remember that you know, you can get up and get out of there. You know, I know it's not that easy, but sometimes we over sit in things, and then we realize that we're kind of okay to get up and move out of that energy now. You know. Okay. And then we have your soul is guiding you. So yeah, um, when you're in that energy, the good thing about it is that you seem to kind of fall into a um, like almost like an isolation, and that if you kind of catch yourself in your thoughts, and you roll with it, it could be a very healing in itself. Like even though it's a even though it's a period of feeling lost or feeling sad or whatever it is that you're feeling at the moment, because that card does indicate, like, you know, really focusing on things that didn't go right or things that were lost, and not realizing that there's still other things available, there are other opportunities. So when in that energy, remember, like, it's good to know that you could turn that light on, and then you could see, right, and you start seeing things, like I would imagine, like, if I don't have an attic, but like going into an attic that's dark and you've never been up there, but then you turn the light on and you're like, dude, this attic's pretty cool. What's all this bullshit up here? I didn't even know I have this, you know, like in the Goonies where they find all that cool stuff, you know. Then you start looking through it, you start sifting through shit, and then you take your mind off of the rumination and you start to grow. You start following your light, and your soul is guiding you to what's next. Like, you know, what is it that we need to look at, and that's how you start a lot of introspection. And um, so again, think it's just it's also just the way that you look at things. And I mean, it's kind of like saying, if you something falls on the floor and you're already on your knees and your hands, which you probably don't do very often. I mean, I don't, let's not go there, but you know, you see something, you might as well, since I'm down here, I'm gonna take care of that, right? So since you're already in that energy, you know, clean house a little bit in other places. um or maybe that's just kind of like a Capricorn thing, where we tend to really like just over book ourselves, over put shit on our plate, and we're already doing something, and we're like, might as well do this too, you know, get off. It's okay if it means that you're healing and you're growing and you're kind of cleaning space for yourself. Okay. So, you know, it's important also to use your intuition. Use your intuition, listen to yourself, become comfortable with what it feels like, because there's a difference between intuition and anxiety. Okay, so it's like being able to differentiate that, um, and that will also help guide you. Listening to your intuition, you'll never go wrong. Listening to your anxiety, yeah, well, that will get you into trouble. Okay, and then believe in magic. Definitely believe in magic. It's like, never limit yourself feeling like you can't accomplish something or something's too big. um, Believe in magic, because definitely things will happen, the universe will align, for you to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Or if anybody ever said that a goal was too big for you, no, it's not true. They were lying. Don't believe the lies. Okay, been there, done that. Not gonna go back to that kind of limitations, self limitations. I mean, don't do that to yourself. Don't allow other people to limit you either. They could limit themselves if they want, but no, they can't. No, no. People always try to limit you, um, or tell you you can't do stuff, if because they feel like they can't do stuff. So then they're like, well, you can't do it either. It's like, well, you know, maybe I want to try. You know. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here. Anything else from this deck here? But that's kind of cool. So this is like the truth. The truth is knowing that you know, probably whoever's listening to this has kind of like overstayed and marinated in this situation. Okay, the unknown. You are where you need to be. You don't need to like the unknowing. You are where you need to be. You know, it might feel like unfamiliar territory, uncomfortable, but again, we want to get uncomfortable. We want to get those Thanksgiving pants on and allow ourselves to expand. Correct? Okay. So I'm going to take a check yourself card just to see what it is behind all of this, because we have to go a little deeper here. Okay, when I get offended, I'm quick to get even. So that's talking a little bit of our shadow self. So maybe there's a little aspect that could be a little bit petty sometimes, you know? I project when I don't feel well. So maybe we are the persons that is feeling limited. And then if somebody comes to us and says, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. I tried and I couldn't, you know, or something like that. Like catch yourself projecting on people because, and I'm sure we all do it at some point, but then people do it to us. And that projection could be the thing that stops somebody from trying to do something that they could have, you know, changed their life. And maybe they could have done it. You know what I mean? So let's check ourselves when we're feeling negative to not project on other people and really and do the work of asking, why is it that I feel like this, or why does it bother me that that person wants to do that? Like, why am I trying to rain on their parade? You know. When I cannot articulate my feelings, I argue. Okay. All right. So that's a little manipulation there. So I'm not really sure what, like how to. I'm feeling a little clusterfucked, so I'm gonna just argue with you to kind of deviate, just to deviate the conversation, or to kind of, you know, draw the attention elsewhere, and you know, kind of bring the power back to myself or whatever. So these are little aspects that we might want to look at that might be keeping us in this energy, right? It looks like we might be having some low vibrations, so it's okay, no big deal. Let's get those vibrations up so that we could manifest what it is that we want, and we're not manifesting, like, you know, stuff we don't want. When I feel I'm right, I don't care about hearing out others. Okay, so maybe the collective that I'm listening to, you know, might have a little bit of some shadow work to do here. Okay, and it's okay. This is all a lot of honestly, also about the inner child. Okay, because the inner child is a little bit bratty. Yeah, of course it is, because when we're acting like this is not like something that an adult is very proud of. Like, hey, you know, hey guys, yeah, me right here. Yeah, I don't like to listen to people when I feel like I'm right. And I also don't like to I like to, you know, if I feel like I can't do something, I want to make sure that you feel like you can't do it either, because God forbid that you know, do it and I then feel bad about myself. And I also, if you offend me, I'm probably gonna, like, you know, throw a stick when you're skating and laugh as you trip, or maybe like tell people that you know, farted really loud. Who knows? What the fuck? Whatever. Okay, so those are things that we might want to work on, and those are things that we would probably do as a child. It's like triggering our inner child. So maybe go in there and do some inner child healing too, and accept people where they are, not where they can be. Okay, that's a good one. And this next one is really important, and I'm gonna stop pulling from this deck. And I didn't mean for it to get this deep, but you know, it needed to. And my dogs are barking outside right now, so you know, it might be a little bit of, like, you know, like, you know, a whole lot of, you know, tension going on here, and not, maybe it's not just sadness, maybe it's also frustration and just low vibration period. Maybe you just feel like you're in a little stuck in a little hole that you can't really seem to be getting yourself out of. But the truth and the clarity is that you do have the tools to do so. Okay, I think it's just we're needing a little bit of going within here, and looking within ourselves here, instead of projecting outward or looking outward. You know, triggers and healing, and that's confirmation here with this card, because triggers, you know, some people get upset with the triggers. Of course it's upsetting at the time, but then get yourself into the energy where it becomes like kind of fun, like, oh my gosh, I got triggered, what the hell, shit, that means let's dig into this. Why am I getting triggered? Let's It's almost like being, if you like to investigate, like, you'll know what I mean. It's like, let's go in there, let's dig in, let's dig and find out what's going on. Like, why am I getting triggered? Like, it's a cool little mystery here. Let's figure it out. What is it telling you? Because it's telling you something. It's not the person. The person has nothing to do with it. Okay. So let's say Sally comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, I really want to go skydiving. And I'm like, oh my God, you probably can't go skydiving because you're going to die. Okay. Now, she triggered something within me to be rude and to kind of project myself on my feelings about whatever skydiving, or just to rain on her parade and make her feel crappy about that. Something triggered. Why did I feel triggered to ruin her moment? You know, let's figure that out. Let's figure that out, and that we could grow. Okay, so what is it telling you? So we figure that out, and next time when somebody says, hey, I want to go skydiving, you don't have to say anything about yourself, like, oh, I tried it and I don't even know, or I know somebody that died. No, you just have to be like, oh, cool, that's awesome, you should totally try it, like, let me know how that goes. Or I want to do it too, but you know what, I don't know, I feel like I'm a little bit scared to do it. And then maybe, like, Sally will be like, you know what, hey, let's do it together, and no problem, like, we'll support each other. I'm scared too, I'm scared also. And maybe that's how you could get out of your comfort zone, just trying something different. If we're having these toxic tendencies, there's a need to look into them. That way, um, first of all, we're not being assholes, and we're not um, projecting that, hurting other people because we have hurt that we need to kind of deal with. And I don't mean anything. I'm not trying to be mean when I say assholes, but let's call it for what it is. Okay. And we could all be assholes. And that is an asshole thing when somebody's excited and, you're like, oh no, you could die, or, you do something to deflect that. That's not cool. You don't want to be that person. I don't, but I know that we can be, and we have been, and I have been. I have a friend that said that she wanted to be a stewardess. And she's like, that could be cool. And then here I am, oh, that's all fun and games until, there's a bomb up there, or somebody does, like, there's, like, I think somebody does something to attack the plane, or it falls and you die. That's not nice. That there was something that was triggering me there. Like, I felt like I had to be a dream killer and an asshole. I'm not like that anymore, because thank God I've looked into myself a little bit, and asked myself, why was I being such an asshole? Like, why can't you let people have their moments, right? Because probably somewhere along the line somebody shot my dreams down. So I was like, shoot, what dream? I'm not happy about it, but I'm gonna admit it, and that's part of what it is admitting that we have a problem, and getting to the bottom of it. Right? Okay, and yep, look at here. I just split the deck to inner child healing. Get in touch with your inner child. And some, you might be thinking, what the fuck does that even mean? Is there like a kid living in me? Did I eat my sister? No, that's not what it means. It just basically means that we all have like a that part of ourselves that is like our joy, our love, our fun, like our innocence, like what brings happiness and joy to your life. And a lot of the times that inner child was like abandoned, like if something happened and you just kind of shut the door on it and just kind of ran away from it. I don't mean literally, like I mean, like, within yourself and your mind and everything. Then that inner child was stuck probably with your shadow, and your shadow is like your demons, like what the things that you're ashamed of or whatever that you push down. So imagine you're putting your inner child in there with like the dark scary stuff. That inner child's gonna come out doing and do the most. Like right when you think that you got rid of all that, and well, guess what? Here comes Sally again at a potluck, and you're frustrated because you can't put the staples in the stapler, and Sally's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I'm gonna go on a vacation. I'm gonna do a trip and we're gonna go on a cruise. And then here you go because you're frustrated. Nobody's even asking you, but here comes, you're triggered now because you're like, fucking Sally, she's always talking about shit, that fucking positive shit. She's getting on my nerves because you're kind of like wallowing in that, in that space of negativity, and for whatever reason, you might have your reasons, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying I've been there, but I've also been in Sally. And you fucking close the stapler and you staple your finger or you hurt yourself, and then you say, oh well, have fun on your freaking trip. Have you seen the movie Poseidon? Maybe you should watch it. Maybe there might be a tycoon that might just come over and freaking, to be in Titanic. Then you ruin her day, and then you look like an asshole in front of the whole damn lunchroom. Why? Because it triggered you. And that shit came out. It spilled out. It just came out, right? And a lot of times when we act bratty like that, it is our inner child, doing the most and acting out. acting out because well, we kind of abandoned it, and it wants to be heard, it wants to be seen, it wants to be expressed. Okay, so if we actually come in before that happens, and we go, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that you like to do, maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to draw, maybe you want to go to the park and just like, chill, and or go roller skating, or whatever it is that you do, that you like to do, that you did when you were little, and you actually kind of like, you know um, spend time with that inner child, give it some positive energy, and give it some positive time before something happens that he decides, like a kid, right? If a kid is mad at you, kids could be evil. Okay, if a kid's mad at you, they know, they're freaking smart, they know just when you're like stressed out and you're like, oh fuck man, and you tell somebody like, no, I can't go to your house because I don't know, me and your child, Sophia, we're gonna go to the doctor. And then they'll be, no, we're not. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna go to the doctor. You said that you hated the doctor. You said that you didn't want to. And they start doing stuff like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, kids could be kids. Kids could be little bratties, and they know what to do. They know how to get at you. They know how to trigger. Also, they know how to react. So it's like that happens. Like that happens with us. Like our inner child comes out, and you can't explain. You can't control it. It's not like you're not rational. You're reacting. You're not responding. That's when you react, right? And then afterwards, you feel kind of shitty, and you're like, oh my gosh, like why did I do that? Like what the hell, like I wasn't in my natural state, I went out of character. Of course you did, because you couldn't control it. Just like kids have tantrums and they don't control it, because they just don't, they just don't have to. They just don't have that capacity at the moment, or they do and they just don't care. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest, and that's how it happens when we just shut things down. It spews out here or there, or even like our, even these other aspects of us. We could sit there, put a mask on, and pretend maybe you're not the biggest people person. Okay, there's always that person that's bubbly and fun and like, high vibrational, and I could attest to that, because that's me sometimes. And then it gets on people's nerves, because they're like, why are you always happy? Why are you happy at 8 o'clock in the morning? I haven't even had my coffee. And it's like, well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I woke up and I'm happy. Let me I didn't mean to bother you with my happiness. You know what I mean? That's not cool. Um, but those are aspects that like then your mask slides off when you're, and it kind of makes you even look more like an asshole. And then you get more resentment towards a person that's just happy. And then when they're talking about their fucking trip, then you talk about how they're gonna die and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just better. It's just better to kind of take yourself out, and do something that makes you happy. And when this happens, already at this point we're bitter, and then we ruminate, and it becomes like a pool of bullshit that you fall into and you can't get out of, because it's just becomes like a natural thing. You're so marinated in it that you don't even realize. It's like when your house or your car stinks, and you're like, oh yeah, people come over and they're like, dude, it stinks in here, and because you can't smell it because you're in it all the damn time. Okay, but everybody else can see it. Let me tell you, I know that they can. um and not that we're trying to people please, but we definitely don't want to be the person that creates that environment, right? Where we walk in the room and everybody shuts up because they don't want to say anything in front of you. And we've all been there, done that. I mean, of course, we all have our shadow aspects, but a lot of it is, when we become kind of bitter and not wanting to do things that are fun, and fun people bother us, it's because we've abandoned our inner child. Like people say, oh, she's such a child at heart. The people, like, you see that a lot with people that are, fun, and they're doing fun stuff, they're playing with the kids, they interact with kids. And then there's other people that can't be bothered, like, oh no, fun, it bothers me, don't laugh, oh no, all that stuff, which, we've all been there too. Like, let's be real here. But when you catch that, then let me do something that is playtime for me. What is that? Is it playing poker? Is it like going to the park and talking shit about people? If let's not judge here. If that's what makes you feel good, if that's what kind of gets your inner. If you were a kid, one of those kids that was kind of like a little bit of a, cabroncito, or like a little mischievous kid, whatever. You want to go to the park and throw sticks so that people could trip? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But just whatever it is that makes that calls your inner child, that kind of bonding with your inner child, and that will do miracles. Because as an adult, when you want to go somewhere and you've been busy and you haven't had time to really, like, engage with your kid like you should. Dude, the kids don't forget, okay? They know. You say you were taking McDonald's, they remember that shit for years, for months, for fucking. You said on April 22nd at 1:15 that you're taking me here. They remember that shit, and they fucking resent you. They act like they don't, but they do. They say it's okay, and then the next day they'll embarrass you, like how I said earlier. Oh, we're gonna go to the doctor. No, we're not. On purpose. Okay, kids are fucking smart and they're manipulative as fuck. I don't care. Anybody can say it's not true. Well, then you're in denial. You're in denialsville because kids are fucking smart as hell, and they are the biggest manipulators. They can be. Yes, 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 ma'am. Okay. So let's keep the inner child happy. Let's keep them happy. Go to McDonald's, get an ice cream, and then they'll be happy, and you could do your thing and balance yourself out. Okay, I'm talking about it too much, but this is for something. Somebody needs to hear this message, and it went from just the well, it's me to this underlying other energy here. Okay, so here we go. This one here is like your energy irritates their demons. Your light is rejected by others' darkness. But I think also when you're in this energy, it's the other way around. Like other people's energy, like lighthearted energy, irritates your demons. Like, oh, I just don't like her. Why? She's just so happy. What the hell? Like that's horrible. It's not horrible, but like if somebody heard you say it out loud, it's like, okay, quick note to self. Don't have lunch with so and so anymore. They don't like happiness. And it happens. We all get in that energy, but it's catching ourselves and getting ourselves out of it. Because I don't care what anybody says. Nobody wants to be in that energy. It's not fun. Okay, it's not fun. We sometimes pretend like, oh yeah, this is I don't like fun and I love being miserable. That's not true. That's definitely not true. Okay, and here's this: what you think, you attract. So your mind, what you're thinking, mind what you're thinking. And that's what we were saying over here. Like if we're constantly in that loop of just negativity and thinking negatively, and maybe like we kind of get a spark of positivity and we're like, yay, I'm positive today, and then something happens, you stub your toe and you're like, fuck this, and then you're just like, nothing's ever right, not for me and all this bullshit. Of course, well then nothing's going to be right for you because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're already saying that. Okay. Okay, and lastly, I'm just gonna get this one because it's going too long, and I don't. It's pretty. We've already talked about pretty much that we need to do things that make us happy, bring joy to our life, bring